Yo, yo, yo.
Hey, hey!
What's
What's up,
up?
all you no bullshitters out there? Welcome to I'm a Little Buzzed. It's Tuesday night, people. And as usual, this is the show where we explore the hilarious intersection between life and business, all while sharing a glass of whatever makes you happy, whether it's water or wine, or in Coach Rob's instance, bourbon, Rob, right? So we got
Bourbon, little Woodford Reserve tonight.
beauty. I'm gonna pour it right here,
The same
right into the
glass
mic.
every week. The same glass every week. I never change it now, and this will always be. This is the crystal edition from I think my mom.
Wow, is that like a
Swarovski?
Swarovski?
It very well could be.
Can you make it
Pretend
sing?
it is.
What? Can I make
You
it
make
sing?
it sing?
I'll try it. I'll give it a try at some point.
I don't know. So for those of you out there that don't know, it's Al, it's Rob, and it's John. We are the co-founders of NoBull 2020, presented by Bankers Healthcare Group, which is happening this September 17th, 2020 in Syracuse, New York. We have a great lineup of speakers: Gary Vaynerchuk, AJ Vaynerchuk, David Meltzer, Shay Rowbottom, Jim Cavell,
Jim and his
Yasmin Cavell, and Constance Schwartz-Marini, as well as about 20-ish panelists. So exciting times. Today's show, we're going to feature a little biz inspiration about learning, leverage, and let's effing go. Today, we're super excited to have serial entrepreneur, restaurateur, and overall cool-ass dude, really good friend of mine, Chris Bily. So we're going to get to that in just a moment. But first, it's not annual. I guess it's weekly, but we have this podcast 3 times a week. So like tri-weekly.
No, that's not even. That's not it.
Let's make it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Weekly. No rules.
No rules.
3
Our tri-weekly toast, or cheers, if you will. Cheers to life, love, lots of laughter, and Taco Tuesdays, because it's Tuesday. Who doesn't like tacos?
Cheers.
Cheers, and cheers to all of you out there.
It's an honor.
Cheers.
Honor of Exo Taco.
Yes, absolutely. But first, we have a few announcements that Coach Rob's going to pop out.
You weren't going to believe this.
He's going to give birth to.
Yeah,
Listen, we turned down a Microsoft sponsorship because tonight's episode is sponsored by Tiny Tim's Taco Tower, where the food is mediocre, but the service is too, and they're only open on Tuesdays. So here's the Tiny Tim's taco stand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost as good as Exo Taco, but not nearly as close, really.
Yeah.
No.
I
I did make Mexican tonight, by the way. Way better than Tiny Tim's Taco Tower. Sorry.
They closed in 2011, by the way. I made it up.
Yeah, if you want tacos, go to Exo Taco.
Yeah.
All right, so let's not forget tickets to the NoBull 2020 event. We still have tickets available. There are 2 ways of getting them. One, buy a case of Empathy wine from empathywines.com. There's a red, a white, and a rosé. Fantastic wines, all of them, a blend. Each time you buy a case of wine and at checkout you enter the code NoBull 2020, we will send you a free ticket to the event. If you just despise wine and you have no use for it, which I can't believe you guys are going to tell us that. I don't believe it, but
maybe you're allergic.
Just in
you
case.
can straight up buy a ticket if you want as well.
NoBull
So we have some of those left.
Straight up.
And for all of you ballers out there, anybody wanting to buy 20 cases of wine, you get a ticket per case. And you get one of the 20 VIP tickets to meet Gary Vaynerchuk after the event in a special small group VIP party. And we have 3 of those left. That's it. 3.
Yes. And for those of you that don't know who Gary Vaynerchuk is, just do a quick Google search and let us know what
Gary V. V-E-E. So that's all I got for tonight.
Boom.
That's right. That is right. All right. Here comes the fun. So every episode, we have a different segment, right? So just a quick recap. Sundays is our wild card show. It's the 3 of us pulling some shenanigans, releasing new stuff, new segments, taking your questions. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays are interview shows. Chris is actually the first interview we have, the singular interview from a Tuesday and Thursday show perspective. Sunday, we had our Mother's Day episode where we did some interviews, but this is the first interview show. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, we'll be bringing on great guests, but in every show, we're going to be releasing a segment. And today's our first kind of like reoccurring segment. So Al, take it away, brother.
I'm very excited, very, very passionate about this because the segment is called That's Bullshit. Similar to the card game. You ever play the card game Bullshit? It's kind of like that, but related to business life, personal life, all sorts of things. So Tuesday's segment is called That's Bullshit. So I'm going to lead it off with my first example. Yes, John.
Real quick.
That's bullshit.
Yep. Real quick. That's bullshit. Yep. No, but everyone watching right now, please enter into this segment. This is not like a segment where we're just here. Like, we want your thoughts. We want you to call bullshit on things. Yep. We want you to comment on what we're calling bullshit on. So please interact like a mofo.
Yeah. So make comments, draw from your personal life, and feel free to call bullshit hashtag That's Bullshit. And then we will work that into the show and use it as examples. Okay, so I'm going to leave this one off. This one really hits home for me because I've done it, and I've been on both ends of this, right? So when you text someone, whoever, whether it's a girl you're interested in or whether it's a friend or whatever, and they don't text you back, right, within a reasonable amount of time, and that could be, depends on what the relationship is, right? But like if like a few days go by or a week goes by and you get a random text a week later that's like, oh, geez, sorry, I've been so busy. I can't, my bad, right? That's bullshit. Period. Because it's fine. This is not like an attacking thing. I'm not mad. I'm not upset, but like, just let's say the truth, which is obviously I was much lower down the priority list than other things. And that's
totem pole.
Fine. But it's total bull to be like, I was so busy and like, sorry, bro. Like, just, couldn't get to you. Bullshit. Next.
Now, when is it okay to not text anybody back for like a week?
And even then, so here's the thing. It's never quite okay. In my opinion, I don't think it's ever okay to just ignore someone, period. I think it's okay to give them a truthful response, which is, hey, I can't address this right now, or like, let me get back to you in a week. And tell them real quick, like, listen, I apologize in advance, but like, I'll get back to you in a week or so. That's not bullshit. That's fantastic. But
isn't that the beauty of text? Right? Like, you can answer them on your own time.
Well, you can. You absolutely can. But the receiving party, the recipient, has every right to be like, that's bullshit.
That what I think the worst is when you text them and you see the 3 bubbles pop up and they're like getting ready to answer you.
Ooh,
and then they're like, boom, gone.
That's
like,
that's double bullshit. And again,
that is instant bullshit.
That's on-demand bullshit.
I saw you.
But again, this is not, you don't get upset about, because I've done it too. You get busy, whatever. Don't mistake my words here. Don't get mad at the person. It's not like they're doing anything wrong. It's just bullshit. That's it. It's it. We're all guilty of it. We had
the trouble with kids, like teenage boys. So finally I said, all right, I'm just going to send you a message to Snapchat. Because then the head pops up and they're like, see, and I'm like, gotcha.
Exactly.
Or just like, message them everywhere.
I didn't get your text message. I don't
Sorry, I'm just seeing this.
No, not flying.
That's bullshit. All right, next.
Who out there comment? Anybody comment on that?
Comment
is that bullshit?
On that. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I'm very quick to apologize.
We'll circle back to that.
Circle back.
Circle back. So what's next? Oh, me.
It's you, bro.
So I guess we decided Al and I's are pretty similar, but mine is that I don't have time. So mine is a little bit different context. Is when somebody's like, oh, hey, can you want to go hang out for drinks? Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have time. Or, I just don't have time. I really want to start a business, or I want to start my side hustle, but I just don't have time. Or I want to get fit and get in shape. I really just don't have time to work out.
That's what
Or I really want to practice self-care. I want to read books, but I just don't have time. Along the same lines, it's that you've decided not to have enough time.
What is it, John?
So what is what?
That's bullshit.
That is bullshit.
We have to
Sorry,
keep bringing that back.
I know I messed up the segment. Sorry. That's bullshit because you do have enough time if you want to make the time. So, I have a past as a strength and conditioning coach and personal trainer. And that was one of the most common reasons that people wouldn't come back. They'd come and train, for a week, or they'd do a program and then they'd say, oh, I just don't have time to fit it in. Well, they just prioritized other things, which is fine. So it's only bullshit if you don't know what you're doing in your own head, in my opinion, right? So if you want to get in shape, but you don't, and you think you don't have enough time, you do have enough time. You just don't prioritize it. Or if you want to start making more money and side hustle and start a woodworking company, Nick, if you're watching, yeah, well, go do it, right? Go do it. Carve the time out, sacrifice other things to make it happen. What do you guys think? Is that right?
I agree. Concur.
You agree?
100%. Yep.
All right.
Concur. Anybody else?
Close it up. We got some comments on that.
Oh, Colin says that's bullshit. Takes 2 seconds to text back.
Yep.
There you go, Al.
He's in real estate, so he knows. Thanks,
Yeah.
Tom. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Rob, close it up. Bring us home.
All right. So, disclaimer before you guys start throwing rotten eggs and tomatoes and shit at me, listen, hear me out, okay?
I'm writing your hate letter right
outside of the current COVID situation, okay? Understand that we're all struggling in some capacity during this, but not everybody. A lot of people are thriving. Jim Rohn once said to people when they reached out, they said, well, I can't afford it. Jim's response was, especially to you hustlers out there, it's not that you can't afford it, it's that you don't make enough. So start a side hustle, pick up a second job, reduce your overhead, sell some things off, do what you got to do, and reprioritize what the numbers look like. Again, it's not for everybody, and it's not in every situation, but don't cut it off and just say, oh, I can't afford it, and then just let it go. Because by doing that, you don't know what opportunity you could miss. So that's bullshit. Don't put those negative thoughts in your head and say, I can't afford it. Go get it done.
All right.
I'm really bullish on you mentioned sell some stuff. So if you're in a position to, let's just use a hypothetical because you said it's not for everyone and I agree. But let's say you just lost your job I don't know what the number's up to now, but 26 million people have done. And you're like, what do I do now? I need some money. If you had a decent job and you have stuff, go through your house. You can easily find $1,000 worth of stuff to sell. And Facebook Marketplace is like gold right now, right? I mean, people are looking to buy there because they're trying to buy more efficient, and they're looking to sell there because they're trying to sell their stuff. So if you need some cash, go on Facebook Marketplace. I just bought a computer from there for like half price.
Wow.
Boom. Yeah, it's amazing.
Can't wait to see what you find on that computer.
MacBook Pro. Oh, find on the computer.
It'll be interesting when you open that puppy up.
Yeah. It actually didn't say wiped.
Turn it on live.
Well, I technically didn't buy it yet. I saved it, and I think I'm going to buy it tomorrow. But now I might actually have to check. I clicked the save button in Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
So now I might send them another message and
you never know.
Ask if it's wiped.
Short rabbit hole. My son goes to school for computer science. We live in an area where there's open access to all of the e-waste. It's just sitting outside at the town barn.
Mm-hmm.
So he loved, before he went off to college, he'd just run through there and be like, it's freaking like treasure. The laptop looks great. He's like, he brings it home. I'm like, what are you going to do with that? He's like, I don't know. I'm going to see if I can get it running. So he plugs the battery in, it's got juice. He Googles on his other one how to do this on the one that he found in the e-waste pile. Yeah. Next thing you know, he's got it up and running. It belongs to a local law enforcement officer who should know better, tisk tisk. And so he didn't find anything bad on there, but there could have been.
I was going to say, did Do a
He
little
used it
blackmail
for
or
2
something?
years.
Oh, nice.
2 years he used it, but like you never know what you're going to find on the thing. So properly dispose of your shit, or
I thought
before
that
you're going
story
to
was
sell
going to
it,
end.
wipe it.
I thought that was going a real different direction.
I thought that was going to imply some people on some crimes. But anyways, I
Short
digress.
rabbit hole.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to the good stuff.
Here
Fire
we
away.
go.
Good people.
So I would love to introduce our first guest to the show. I mean, let's face it, you can't hold a candle to the moms we had on Sunday. You know, who can?
That's true.
But
Apples and
this
oranges.
is an amazing dude.
Apples and oranges.
Great. Yeah, apples and oranges. Great dude, friend of mine for a long time. Owner of Exo Taco, Original Grain, which is located in Syracuse and Rochester. A super creative dude, all through and through. I mean, from a brand perspective, amazing. Experience perspective, amazing. So please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Bily.
Hey, hey.
Whoa.
What's up, dude?
What up?
What's up, Chris?
Gentlemen,
The man
lady.
of the hour.
How are you, my friend?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, guys.
You're welcome. So a quick cheers to you
Oh, yeah.
as being our first guest.
Cheers.
Clink,
What are you
clink,
drinking?
Clink.
Yeah, what do you got in there?
I got the apathy wine, man. I'm sticking true to the brand here.
You have to.
I
Rob,
got-
little
Woodford Reserve.
Woodford. I got a little marg. It's Taco Tuesday, so I gotta
That's
represent
right.
a little bit.
Curbside Margs, Exo Taco.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Three packs, the whole bit.
If
Original
you're bored,
grain, rainbow salads.
if you don't like looking at us.
That's right. Well, dude, thank you so much for coming on. I did not do your intro justice at all, just touched on it, but give us like the 60-second start of your career. Let's say right out of college, go see State, up to where you are now. How did that evolution take place?
All by random, all by chance, all by a lot of hard work and effort into making it happen. Realistically, just, no real sort of path, sort of followed a passion, much like a lot of entrepreneurs do. So had a passion for culinary, had a passion for the creative and in the artistry, I think, behind a restaurant, right? A lot of people might not understand that, but the food was a big part of it, as well as, the culture, the music, the artwork, all the stuff on the wall. So I was really just so engulfed into that and really figuring out what a brand meant. A brand was, right? So I had this niche in culinary and decided to go with it. I decided to take a leap of faith and out of my career path or what I went to school for realistically, and just went for it. My mentality at that point in time, and still is, just fuck it, just go, just do it. So I sort of put all my cards on the table. Wasn't many cards at that point in time, right? Broke out of
My
college.
one card.
Yeah, exactly. Broke out of college and no money. So ended up connecting with some people. Forecast and now a year later from that point in time, which was 2014, Modern Malt. That was my first restaurant. Design, created the menu, created the environment, the atmosphere. Flash forward a year and a half from that, Original Grain. Flash forward a year and a half from that, Exo Taco, and then flash forward 6 months, literally after that, another Original Grain. So all in the span of 5 years, we've been whooping and grooving, baby.
Hustling. Yeah.
That's great.
I love it.
It's
Gosh.
to simply put it in 60 seconds, it's tough because there has been a lot of ebbs and flows, right? As far as the people I've met, the experiences I've had, the business relations I've made and maintained, the friendships, right? John, I've known you since 2002.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's wild to think about, all that kind of coming together to, end up being something that you really love and care about and are passionate about. And, here we are talking about it on a platform for hopefully some people to hear and, enjoy and take something from. If not, just, look at my red little,
oh, dude,
shawl.
you're gonna inspire a bunch of people for sure. And that's, when we needed somebody to open her up, this was
Yeah.
you were the first person to pop into our mind just because of where do you mind, like, what was your, out of school, what were you headed into? What profession? Because I think that's important.
Yeah, you probably know this, education.
Yeah.
So I was teaching, I was student teaching. I did the whole bit, tried to get some jobs in the teaching profession. I think at that point in time, and I think a lot of people don't understand in their early 20s, one, you definitely don't have a lot of experience in, the hot seat per se, right? Being in front of other people that you think are superiors and asking you really questions that you don't really have the answer to, because one, maybe you don't care. And probably at that point in time, there's a part of me that really didn't care. I was just like, well, I need a job. I need to make money. And two, just hadn't really had the experience and hadn't had that much of life yet to experience in those situations. So it's really interesting to think about now, to kind of to go back and see how things sort of transpired after, not getting the, 9th teaching position I applied for, to then saying, okay, you know what, fuck it. I'm just going to I'm going to follow what I really wanted to do. And a lot of people don't know that out of high school for myself, I was really contemplating culinary school. But, athletics and a lot of other things, right, kind of landed me into realistically following, I think, more of a cultural passion, right? And that was sort of centered and revolved around, I think, developing friendships, relationships, having a lot of fun, going out and drinking,
Yeah.
So
did a lot of that.
Yeah. And Timmerman, you were there, all of it. It was,
Yep.
So yeah, it's really interesting to think about that in your mind now, right? Being a little bit older, being a little bit more comfortable in how you speak and how you talk to people, and certainly how you can have conversation, to be able to flash back and think about those things. Because I think at the end of the day, the 24-year-old, 25-year-old kid, not everybody like myself knew, and maybe you guys share the same, knew what they wanted to do. Right. Didn't have any clue. And I didn't really find out until I was 28, 29. And that's when I really started to grow, develop relationships and develop a strong passion for my craft.
Nice. Well, we're going to get into some questions. We'll kind of bounce around because I have some more questions that I want to ask you. We have some audience questions that came ahead, and then we have some live chat going on here. So anybody ask a question in the comments for Chris about how he got into the restaurant business, how he founded his own restaurants, how he took a career shift from education to that. So, Rob, you got the first question there?
Ooh,
Robert, check the private chat.
Or Al, is that a shot? You just put one back real quick.
I don't have. There's no.
I went pretty quick on that one.
Oh, the private chat. Yeah.
It was
all right. So we got.
Gentlemen, you're a gentleman and a scholar.
And a scholar.
All right.
So the first question does it come through in the chat?
Yeah, got it. What was the biggest challenge you faced while growing your business? It's from Polly Plummer.
I think just getting myself out of the way. I think as a business owner, and certainly doing things by yourself for the first time, you want to assume certain control. And I still have those, I think, little sort of like nerves that sort of get pinched and bothered at times. But I think my biggest challenge was myself, right? Being able to accept my own weaknesses for what they were, being able to really sort of hone in on my strengths and really get a lot of people that believed in, I think, me. And you open the intro, John, with I think about branding and the brand. I think all that's great, but I think at the end of the day, there's an individual behind that people need to believe in and people need to follow, and that can speak to, I think, the whole system as it may be. So to me, I think that's important is being able to identify that in an individual and in a human being, and certainly myself, and know that I was going to be that person, that carrier. And, there's other things I wasn't going to be really, really good at, but I wanted to learn from other people. So for myself, the biggest challenge, I think, was me being able to get out of the way and let the people around me that believed in me assume certain positions and assume things that I was not really good at, and let me learn from them, and likewise let them learn from me in some aspects of business or creative or artistry that they weren't really good at.
Let me ask you: Are you the type of person? And I can ask this because I'm this type of person. Are you the type of person that if left to your own devices, like you'll do it all, like you'll micromanage, you'll get in there and you'll hit every single piece of it? I think you are, but I have to ask that question.
Looking at me, smiling. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I think so, because again, at that, I think to get into business for yourself, you inevitably are doing that, and you do that before you have, I think, the financials to go out and say, hey, I'm going to hire my first employee, or
Exactly.
the next 5 employees, or whatever. So you're doing that. So there's a little piece of you that, again, I think at the end of the day, has that bit in you. And I still, if I have employees in here watching and looking at what we're doing, they would probably say, yeah, there's a lot of Chris that does that. But I don't think that that's a weakness at all. I think that realistically is a strength. I think that I think that's just passion, really, that comes out, right? And in the drive and the willpower. It's like, okay, if I can get in with you and get in the muck with you and show you how it's really done, not because I want it to be done better, even though I know I could maybe do it better. There's going to be a certain lesson to be learned, I think, after that.
Absolutely. And the fact that you're like that, I think, is the reason why you're here now. But your realization that you just led with, which is get yourself out of the way and let them do, what they're good at doing, is also a part of like growing as a leader. Like I'll struggle with that every day, because I also grew the same way and had to do everything, and then now have to step back, and it is a struggle. Like I want to get in there and do this stuff, but anyways, for you to say that, like, just shows that you're growing as a leader and able to allow your employees and your great team and staff to do that. So that's awesome.
Ask me that question 5 years ago, I would have been like, no, fuck that.
No.
Yeah.
All myself. Everybody get out of the way. My way or the highway.
Yeah.
It's interesting as you kind of grow and develop and learn a lot of different strategies and techniques from, the best in the game. A lot of my mentors are guys that have been doing it for a while. Mark Bolus's of the world, Bull and Bear Roadhouse, the John Stages of the world, Dinosaur Barbecue. These guys, I'm getting on my radar on a monthly and weekly basis just to get information from and to sit and listen. And I think that's a lot of the lessons I learned is just, again, sitting and listening and being patient, and learning from an older, even not even older, but just a wiser individual that's been doing a certain technique or had a specific strategy for quite some time, to sit back and be like, oh shit, okay, like there's something to be learned from this. I think I can do it better, but there's got to be something I'm taking away from this, right? It's just interesting.
I have a question,
sir.
Since we are this partnership that we formed for NoBull, it's been a huge piece of any success that's come from it. You've got some partners that you work with. How did you know, other than their expertise in certain areas and whatever, but how did you know this is the right crew to roll with for whether it was EXO or OG or whatever it was? Like these are the right players.
Yeah,
I'm sure there was a bunch of people in the game that were willing to jump in with you. But
yeah, I mean, honestly, initially a lot of it was trial and error. My first partnerships didn't turn out so great. Not all of them do, to be honest with you. And it's okay. You learn from your mistakes, or you just learn from, again, trial and error as far as what went wrong, and was there something positive that came out of it, or was but at the end of the day, I'm a pretty simple dude. I'm looking for cool guys to work with that bring something to the table that, at the end of the day, believe in, again, the brand. They believe in me, believe in me to deliver, operationally, creatively, artistically. And that's it. I know all of us at the end of the day have a lot of different skill sets that we might, not showcase in, our regular jobs or, at home, at our alone time. So at the end of the day, if I can sit down with you and have a conversation over some, tequila and a little empathy wine and a little
tequila.
And I'm going to guarantee at the end of the conversation over 30 minutes to an hour and 30 minutes, we're probably going to find some commonalities and some similarities, and that'll probably be a big determining factor of whether or not I think we could work forward. Yeah, the feels.
Right. Yeah,
sure. Awesome. Hey, so stemming from the creative side of things, tell us about like how the process was of creating a visual part of the food brands, like the design choices, the ambiance, the social media images. How did you do all that?
Yeah. So again, it's just me, doing a lot of traveling and a lot of pinning of images, not only in my brain, but certainly ones that I could easily get with a quick Google search, right? It was as simple as that. I had a vision for a specific concept, right? Let's say, for example, original grain, healthy, fast casual. Myself and my business partner, Eric Hinman, did a lot of traveling. I mean, we went to LA, we went to New York. We were just scouting restaurants, right? I mean, literally scouting. We'd go in, we'd sit down, we'd eat naturally, because we'd probably get done, working out for like 2 fucking hours with that guy.
Minimum.
Yeah, minimum, exactly. And then I'd sit there and I'd steal menus, and I'd go into the next restaurant, steal a bunch of menus. I mean, we're talking like hardcovers and the to-go menus, like and everything. But that's because I wanted to. I wanted the information, and I wanted that. I think that feeling, right? I think that all of us can probably attribute, right? There's a specific feeling and emotion, and I think that's what's important to what I want to elicit today, and what I think we're going to talk about more as I speak during the conference, right? There's a specific emotion that I think we all feel when we're doing certain things. So, for example, when you're at a restaurant dining, right? I feel something when I open up that menu and I could see color and see boldness in print and see all these things, right? Just as much as when I walk in the door and I see all these visuals pulling me in different directions, right? But all sort of honed in together with the music that sort of encapsulate this identity. So that's what I was really searching for. I mean, we travel near and far, like I said, and try to capture all these things everywhere from, like I said, Los Angeles, and going on Abbot Kinney Boulevard in Venice, California, and going to places like Justa and Jelena and Lemonade and all these really cool, healthy, fast casual joints, and then heading down to New York City and finding out about Sweet Green and Kava and all these joints that realistically at that point in time, 5 years ago, were kind of up and coming. They didn't have 20, 30, 40 stores. They had like 2 or 3 in Manhattan and in the Lower East Side or whatever. But it was just collecting information, connecting dots. That's pretty much how we got a lot of the information. And at the end of the day, I'd put together some storyboards. Hit Pinterest up, right? Really great tool. Keyword, a specific phrase or something I was looking for in a design or a font or a specific curve on a line that maybe I didn't see in a logo or I saw in a logo, and just kind of go from there.
Mm-hmm.
So Lindsay asks, my lovely wife, Lindsay, by the way.
Yeah.
She chimed into the live chat here, this is a great question. What advice do you have to people that are nervous to do something different or aren't sure how to move forward, and they get stuck in analysis paralysis fear? So any advice, whether it's starting a business or whether it's just making that decision, that creative decision, or that, you get stuck in your own mind. How do you get beyond that?
I could say from my own personal experience, the way that I got past it was, I don't know how this is really going to come out, but I didn't
let it rip. No rules.
Yeah,
here.
I didn't really come from a wealthy background or a lot of money or anything like that. I really had to fucking work hard. So my mentality at that point in time, when I had to question myself in a similar scenario, it's like, oh man, I got a really good coaching job right now, which I did have after teaching. Right, I was a head men's lacrosse coach for 2 years for a small Division III school. I was like, well, how do I make that change? I mean, you have, one side that's like, okay, you have stable income, benefits, all these really great things, right? And then the other side's like, man, I'm really not satisfied creatively or experientially. So how do you, and at the end of the day, I'm thinking back to the decision I made before the decision to even coach, or the decision before the decision, which was to go to school, which is, well, I really don't have anything. How much more am I going to be gaining in the year that I could lose? Or how much more could I be losing in the year that I lose from taking the chance? The answer to the question is you just don't know until you do it, right? I think there's a lot of people out there with a lot of great ideas, but a lot of those ideas don't come to fruition until those ideas are actually acted upon, and that's what actually makes something special. So, again, my philosophy is that, I had nothing to lose. I didn't have a lot of money. I didn't have a lot of anything. I mean, I had a good family and I had strong relationships and I had all these things and all these people rooting for me. But, financially, I looked at it that way. I didn't have a lot of money. I didn't have shit to lose. So fuck it. I mean, what's
and
holding
you've
me
been there? Yeah, you've been there before. So like,
what's holding me back from taking the chance? So, I advise any person, and again, I speak up at SU often, and I say the same thing candidly. I'm like, you guys are in school, and half of you probably sitting in this room, if not more, are going to leave here today, probably not doing what you intended to do when you came to school, and that's okay. At the end of the day, you have to have the mentality of, okay, this is my passion, this is my pursuit, and here's the route that I'm going to choose to get there, and fuck it. If I don't, it's okay. There will be other options, as there always are. And if I do, thanks. I'm glad that I did. And there's always going to be other options after that to choose different paths. But at the end of the day, if you can have the mentality of like, there's really nothing to lose, because again, I think life is full of experience. I think life is short. I think that at the end of the day, we all need to take chances in the best way possible to make it so that our lives are fulfilled and are positive and are fruitful and happy. So if you have the option to do that and to have that mentality moving into a decision like that, then I think that more power to you, because there's a lot of people that are certainly ones to hesitate.
Absolutely.
I hope I answered the question.
Yeah,
you did.
Great answer.
I jumped in there with that.
Yeah, great questions coming in too. So it's like,
Right, so Roger wants to know, what is your favorite part of being an entrepreneur in the food industry?
I think it's always the creative, being able to menu test, certainly, right, in the food industry, to do the R&D, right? There's a lot of tasting, there's a lot of gluttony involved. I think that's probably my favorite piece of it. Aside from, I'm such a big proponent of relationships and establishing those within, the organization and outside of it. I'm such a people person, and I love connecting with people and making them really see who I am, at my core, which is someone who's passionate about food, who's passionate about the industry, who's passionate about business, who's passionate about growth and development. But to answer your question, yeah, it's gotta be the food. Man,
side note for us hosts here: why did we not arrange to be eating tacos right now from Exo Taco? Like,
fuck off saying that. I could have arranged that. I don't even know why I didn't think of that anyway. Especially now, 10 minutes, however long we are into it, like ding dong on your doorbell.
oh,
all right, we'll have you back, man. We'll have you back on another Tuesday.
and by back I mean tomorrow.
When is tomorrow Tuesday? Can we make tomorrow Tuesday?
Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Have me back on Thursday. We got burritos at Exo.
$5
burritos. So we can do that, and then we'll hook it. We'll flow that in with some smoothies to wash it down from OG.
Yeah,
and we'll just talk about what we didn't talk about tonight.
It'll just be a week of Bily and various foods and delicious drinks.
Yeah,
let me tell you, I don't sleep very well, right? Ever, unless I eat
enough tequila, and you might.
Unless I eat a burrito from XO, which I got from Marianne a couple weeks ago.
The gal's comfort.
Like, some people take melatonin, and I'm like, give me a burrito and just let me chill for a minute, and what, like a baby.
A lot of people don't know we actually saute our rice in melatonin, so
and there you have it.
That's probably why.
I just want
fantastic
a Cocoa Puffs bowl for dessert.
There, nap time. Maybe that's why people keep coming back. That's not true. I hope no one out there is like, oh.
No, but for me,
there's gonna be a ton of people falling asleep on your bar.
No, it's just me. Just apply
in their burritos.
They do that already.
It puts me in such a beautiful state. That's it. I'm like, I'm happy.
He climbs in his sauna and has a burrito.
That's a great combo. Chris, did you know these two both own the same sauna? And they have now convinced me to buy the same exact sauna. So our next podcast might be completely all of us in the same, not the same sauna, but like our own sauna.
I don't have one, but I've been in the market and I've always wanted one. I love it. I never started getting into it until about probably like 6 to 8 months ago.
Did you go to Sonic Food, right?
Sonicuse or
Sonicuse, and then I've been to Rochester. What is it?
Oh yeah,
Lumos. Our friend Rachel Battleman. John, you know her, right? Shout out to Lumos Sauna and Rachel, by the way, if she's
I don't
watching.
think so.
She's
Is it like infrared?
infrared.
Yep.
oh.
Never been in an
So
infrared.
now it's gonna be all four of us are gonna have saunas.
So now, yeah, next time you're on, we're all gonna be eating tacos and drinking tequila and having smoothie bowl
burrito.
inside of a sauna.
In the sauna.
Yeah, a burrito bowl.
In a
Burritos, I mean.
towel that is half the size of a normal towel. You ever seen Starsky and Hutch?
A hand towel.
Yeah, he's wearing
Hand towel.
Yeah.
eating burritos and drinking whatever the fuck you want. Really.
Yeah.
Al
right.
just goes in his banana hammock, so there's no
That's his-
judgment here.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm a loner. It doesn't
Right.
matter.
No
Like,
rules, no judgment.
there's-
It is purple, so
Nobody
it's good.
cares.
And it says no bull with a bullseye on it. And with that, we got our next question. So
Right.
Bia asks, I've read. Oh, is this true? I've read that you don't use advertising to promote your brands. Is this true? What do you do instead?
So we have used some forms of traditional, I think advertising is maybe what they're speaking to,
okay.
more recently than later. But no, I mean, and John, you'd probably know this.
A lot of word of mouth.
A lot of word of mouth, a lot of social media. I mean, again, we're talking about the conversation I had 15 minutes before the bullseye Speedo. Yeah.
Which everyone forgot what happened before that.
Yeah.
But, you know, we were on a shoestring budget. I mean, we didn't have anything, you know, I mean, I didn't have any money, you know, I didn't have money for advertising and I didn't have the few, you know, $100 to $1,000 of dollars for, you know, an ad on a local radio station or anywhere in print, really. So we were just doing everything we possibly could to promote the business, right? And social media being sort of that 21st century too. We, you know, kind of leaned on that. You know, we knew that if we could take really great pictures, follow it up with really cool wordplay and really fun wordplay, that was really sort of on brand, right? A lot of people would get sort of the same experience with the wording and the images as they would if they were to walk in the store and hear, for example, at OG, right? You know, ODB playing "Baby I Like It Raw," right? On the speakers, or walking into Exxon and hearing like lo-fi or like some punk rock music. Like it was, you know, that's what we kind of did just to get by. Moving forward and flash forwarding into now, we've certainly experienced more and being, you know, frankly successful and lucky at what we did. We've been afforded the opportunity to spend some money in those departments for sure. So yeah, I mean, starting off, no, but yeah, now we're doing a little bit more. But I'm still a big proponent on social media and word of mouth. I always tell interns that we usually you know, either get or interview for positions within the brands to do either social media or some form of marketing, right? You know, word of mouth is 10 times to 20 times more effective than the next paid Instagram post or Facebook post, right? So as long as we're providing a quality service, a really fun environment and atmosphere, and really fucking good food, people are going to come back and people are going to talk about it and people are going to like us and they're going to follow our Instagram and listen to the ad and so on and so forth. So that's how I feel about it.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Do you guys feel the same?
The what? Sorry,
Do you
cut
guys
out.
feel the same?
Yeah, for me, there's no question about you know, in terms of word of mouth, that will always be the number one, in my opinion, the number one advertising tool is word of mouth. It's the most ancient advertising tool that there is. And I still, to this day, I think is the most, you know, important one.
Mhm.
What's intriguing to me, and I've always been inspired and just in awe of the two brands, right? So XO, even let's just take it all the way back to Modern Mall. Those were like first to market. Those were first to market brands. And the second you saw them, you knew like this is going to pop. The second you saw them, first week, you know what I mean? What are they? What's the numbers on the restaurant game? It's like, you know, the 80% of them fail in the first 4 or 5 years or something like that. It's
probably less than that.
I was going to say that'll be a lot less than that.
Well, whatever. I don't know what it is. It's some crazy statistic. But with your particular restaurants, you knew, like, oh, this one's gonna fly. You know what I mean? So I guess for me, I'm curious is how did you do that, right? Like, how did you say to yourself, in your mind, I'm sure that you thought, I don't know if this is gonna fly. There were probably times you thought that, but in everybody else, in terms of the public was new. They were like, oh, this will be huge. You know, you as the starter maybe questioned it at times, but
yeah, there's a lot of times I questioned it. Original Grain, I questioned a lot. I didn't think that people would get it, and certainly
Really?
I didn't think that people would find it. It was again so new to market, right? There wasn't a healthy fast casual, and this was even before Core Life. I think we opened like almost literally simultaneously, right? So, you know, a lot of people have heard of, you know, these healthy fast casual brands, but nobody had actually done one, and there wasn't one downtown, right? Exclusive and really sort of brand savvy. And what I mean by that is a comment I made earlier, right? Encompassing a really striking, definitive logo, right? And we think of all these brands that we kind of grew up with, right? The Pepsi logo, the Coke logo, you know, all of what about those is so important, and how do they get so big, right? There's a lot of different factors that go into that. But my mentality was, okay, if we can create this really striking appearance, right, and back that up with a really cool interior design, right, that really meshes with that brand appearance, right, from a logo perspective, and then couple that with a really cool playlist, right, and then couple that with a really cool menu design, but then we're going to take it a step further and then make the menu so fucking cool and sick that no one's ever heard about it. They're going to come in and be like, holy shit, this is it. And that was the mentality, you know. And again, these are all things that we kind of learned through taking trips to, you know, bigger cities. You know, I lived in Chicago for a while before, you know, I moved back here, and we did the whole LA, New York kind of trip that I spoke to before I got into coaching. So, you know, I was always looking for interesting versions, I think, of brands that I carried an emotional attachment with. What was so important about them visually,
right,
aesthetically, right? All of my senses, right? What are the smells, the sights, the tastes, the sounds that really just made me like, holy fuck, these guys got their shit together.
That's sweet, yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was all I took into it. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I still probably think that I don't have the time, but at the end of the day, you know, I think that people feel certain things and with certain things in front of them to see and to touch and to taste and to smell and to look at. So, you know, I just tried to do my best to, I think, interpret what my vision was for something like that was different to market, that was different than anything else in the country, that was really unique, right? And
I can say, you know, knowing you and experiencing both of your restaurants at all, you know, all three of them, like this is just skill. Like, this isn't, maybe it's something you can teach, but I think what you do a great job at, you sort of alluded to it, was combining the look, the feel, and the taste all into the same thing. Like, I don't know what that is, and I don't know if you can put it into words, but like, you have Original Grain where you walk in and you feel something from what you see, and then you hear that, but you feel the same thing, and then you taste the food and you feel the same thing. Same thing with XO. It's like a different vibe, and that vibe comes from the visual, you know, the auditory side of it, and then the food. And if I had to pick, just knowing you from before all of this, like, if I had to pick one thing I think that I've noticed that you're great at, is it's combining those senses into one concept, I guess, is the best word I can put it. So
well, thank you. People probably don't know that Timmerman and I almost had a t-shirt company.
What was it?
Right.
Whatever's clever. Still a great name.
Side note, today I looked for the logo that we painted, as like concepts. I could not find it. I wanted it so bad to show in here, but
So
I couldn't find it.
quick little sidebar. Post-college, Timmerman and I used to kind of get up together. I don't even know why we started to get up together. But really kind of
because we were both bored as fuck with our jobs or whatever we were doing and wanted some creative outlet.
Get into, I think realistically trying to develop a t-shirt brand and a concept, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was really print heavy, a really identifiable logo. I still remember to this day. Do you remember the Sesame Street, whatever's clever drawing that we had?
yeah.
Like Elmo, Big Bird, Oscar the Grouch, like all in this like fucking ghetto ass street. I think Big Bird had like Air Force Ones on. He was carrying a boombox, and like Oscar was like in some fucking.
We could have made it.
Even a trash can, like a lowrider just cruising out. Dude, it was like the coolest. If I have that image, Sermon, I'm gonna send it to you because I swear to God I kept that.
Please do. Like if it could have been a thing. It really could have. We could have been the next like clever t-shirt company because there's a bunch of them out now. Shit.
Not too late. Not too late.
Shit. But we got one more question. Rob, do you have the question?
All right. So
one more good one. This is a fun one.
At the Most Wanted wants to know what's your favorite cheat meal and what's your favorite way to waste time?
Favorite cheat meal? I'm a really big late night snacker. So if any snack at the end of the evening from Cheez-Its, albeit the low fat ones, to pretzels, to really ice cream, I think that's my favorite cheat meal. I find myself, and this probably isn't a good thing, right? Just being so inundated, and I think just the different layers of business. Sometimes the schedule, probably like your guys', gets a little crazy. So, usually late night is like, oh man, I'm going after it. I'm going after it hard. Probably not good for your body, but I also work out like a motherfucker too. So that
makes up for it.
Yeah, and it makes up for it. So I guess it's a good balance from my perspective. And what was the last part of that one, Rob?
What's your favorite way to waste time?
Favorite way to waste time? I would say probably either, I don't know. I don't even know if I have a lot of time that's wasted. My day starts at 8 a.m., doesn't get done till 9 p.m., sometimes later. And then usually by that time I'm so doggone tired, and then I eat, Cheez-Its and pretzels and
ice cream
for a cheat meal.
Your favorite cheat meal and your way to waste time are the same thing, actually.
It literally almost is. But honestly, to answer your question candidly, I love what I do so much. I spend so much time at it. I work so hard at it. I don't miss a beat by doing it throughout the day. I try to schedule myself and at least a workout in every day. And I try to schedule specific meetings with my crew, so they're kind of like up to snuff with everything, and certainly meetings with some either individuals that are in the business community or business meetings in themselves. But other than that, I mean, it's constantly working on the brand, the business, how to enhance it, how to make it more palatable to the next consumer that might not be right in our target demographic, I should say. But it's certainly a nonstop grind, and I think that's one of the things I love about it. There's no day that's the same. Every day's different. While you think it's the same, and I just gave you a lot of a lot of things that seem the same on a daily basis. They don't happen at the same time. The conversations aren't the same. The experiences aren't the same. So I think that's why I love it the most, and that's why I would say that my downtime is probably when I get home at the end of the evening, and I get to hang out with my girlfriend, and we get to watch a little Netflix 30-minute before bed, and before I crumble Cheez-Its all over the bed, and then
and then you sleep in those Cheez-Its,
and then I get up and I do it again.
We got a quick
awesome.
one, just, real quick from Colin, in a sentence or two. What's next?
Great question.
What's coming?
I got a really cool something that's next.
You mentioned there was something cool a few months ago. You wouldn't tell me. Excited.
Restaurant, food related?
Yeah. What's that?
Food related?
Food related. Yeah.
God bless you.
So yeah, we have something cool coming down the pipeline. I'm really excited about it. If you want some more information, hit me up on Instagram or Facebook or follow me. I'm going to be posting a lot about the next coolest new thing that I'm going to be doing kind of coming out. So give me a follow. I'm not going to lead too much into it because I don't want to. I like to be the master of disguise when it comes to the brands and the concepts, and I like to let the mind wander. I think that, you know, to me, at the end of the day, it gets me most excited about other brands that kind of do the same thing. So we're going to kind of follow that path that we've always done. So I'm not gonna, the lips are sealed for now, but it's going to be really cool. If you want more information on it, I may have leaked it already, little snippets of it. If you want to go and follow me, Chris Bily, on Insta or Facebook, there's some little.
You know what? We got rapid fire questions coming up next. And how much tequila do you have there? Because maybe that final question could.
I got some left. I got some left. However, you got. Listen, we could keep this show going for however long. I don't know if anyone's got to.
He's got no reserves.
So if you're watching right now,
all the time in the world,
and you can make it through rapid fire questions, you might actually get some hints by the end of this show. So
all right,
we'll see. But let's get into it. Listen, if any of you out there watching on Facebook Live have any questions, put them in the comments below, and the four of us are going to rip through rapid fire questions. So the goal here is to get your answer in under 30 seconds. All four of us will answer ours, and
fuck, because I haven't answered a question in under probably a minute and 30 seconds.
Oh, here we go. Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to bounce between some questions here we had come in earlier, and then anyone that posts below in Facebook. So Rob, why don't you watch the Facebook ones and just talk over me or whatever. Okay. So first one. Okay. Chris, why don't you answer first, and then we'll go around the Brady Bunch.
Sure.
Okay. We'll go
me, then Rob, then John, then Al.
Yep. We'll go this
Al,
way.
John, Rob. Counterclockwise.
Counterclockwise.
Counterclockwise. Okay. What is one of your weirdest quirks from Dan?
Oh shit. I don't know. Oh gosh. Well, I'm gonna hold on, John. What's my weirdest quirk?
I don't know.
I don't. I'm just a fucking weirdo in general, so I got a lot of weird quirks. I don't know.
Name one quirk. Name one thing you don't think is weird, because everyone else probably thinks it's weird. You're at like 15 seconds.
Probably. I know it's gonna take me longer to fucking answer it. I honestly, I don't know. That's such a hard question. Weird quirks. I'm just probably what I'm doing now. Weird quirk.
Weird quirk. All right, Al, go.
Okay. This is a very hard question. One of my weirdest is I like little tiny baby things, little tiny figurines, little.
Oh, you know what, Al? Okay, I guess I didn't look at it kind of in depth.
You know what, Al? You are weird.
Wait. We need to stick here for just a second.
What's up?
Little tiny baby things. Like, what is
anything that's like miniature, tiny? You know, like when they like the smallest of tiniest things. You know, people like. Everybody knows what I'm talking about, right? Or am I alone on this?
Give me one example, real quick.
I should pull up
like a micro machine.
No, or smaller. Like
a ladybug.
Like, you know how people like, you know, there's like little baby sandwiches, like they're this big.
Oh,
okay. This is
Can you make one of some of those?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
This needs to go a little bit longer than 30 seconds because this is super interesting.
I like little tiny things.
Stay on this. I'm fucking so lost right now. What are you talking about?
I still don't know. I'm trying to dig, Chris. I'm trying to dig for it.
Okay.
Like little tiny baby sandwiches.
Listen. All right.
Like fabricated, made out of plastic sandwiches that are.
They're not real. Correct. They're not. But sometimes they actually are.
Okay.
Sometimes they actually are. Baby, tiny, like little miniature baby things. I'm fascinated by them. If you look up, like, just Google miniature things.
The intricacy in that's fucking probably ridiculous.
Oh, you can't imagine. You just can't imagine. This is a rabbit hole. If you go down, there's art. It's just crazy. Just look it up on Google. Miniature things.
Okay.
I've been there. I've done that.
Right?
Go down.
Chris, did you think of one? Or no? We keep it going.
No, I didn't.
Okay. I would say, I don't know, like, if Lindsay's still on here, she should say a quirk that I have. But Mine,
Careful.
I'm a big like DIY. So like I nerd out about DIY, like pallets, like making shit out of pallets and
Love that.
just
side.
little
Jackson.
tiny
If anyone's
Jackson Joby.
And shit.
Yeah. This was our first like booth when we went to the CrossFit games and the Wadapalooza and everything. This was like the front of the thing. So I
Love
geek out over that stuff. Big DIY guy.
Rob,
Rob.
Go ahead, Rob.
All right. First thing that came to my mind. I cannot use a Q-tip in my ear without wetting it.
What?
Yeah.
I'm the opposite, actually.
Are you kidding me?
Can't do it.
I would
am the
never stick a wet Q-tip in my ear ever.
Oh, it gives me
Not
the
drenched.
shivers just thinking
Just a
about
little
it.
wet. Yep.
No, you're free.
Isn't that
There
the
you go.
opposite of what it's supposed to do, though?
Yeah, that's the.
What's that?
Isn't that the opposite of what it's supposed to do?
I was just gonna say that's the
Just
opposite
a
of what I
little
prefer,
bit.
but-
I don't know, because sometimes, besides the ear canal, you got to get up into the top and get all the dry gook out of there. And like,
Oh gosh,
listen,
this is a night.
when
This is my night.
you get to be my age, you may change
Al's
your
got
mind.
Yeah, Al's got it. Dude, it's not like you're 60, man.
So weird anymore, are they?
Oh, well, that's not really a weird quirk. Well, okay, so here's one if I were to share one. My girlfriend Jenna just shared it with me. I do like to sleep with some sort of noise, background noise. I don't know if that's a quirk. I think a lot of people probably share that. But one, I the fan every night. I got to hear something, right? Something in the background that's kind of that soothes me.
Okay, that's fair.
So Colin Burney posted the throw up emoji at you, Rob.
Yeah, rightfully so, Colin.
Yeah. So we got some more coming in here. So Rebecca Williams asks, favorite meal at one of Chris's restaurants?
Ooh, do I actually have to answer that one? I'm not.
Yeah, you got to answer that one.
I'm not starting.
And only one. All right, well,
I'll
you can go
start.
last. But you got to pick one out of all your restaurants, like all-time favorite meal
Jesus Christ.
that you guys. So we'll go last, which means
I'll start.
Al, you start, then I'll go, then Rob goes. It's tricky pointing in this thing.
I'm gonna go my favorite meal like now, which is Halito from XO, loaded up
Yep.
with chips and queso sauce. Queso, just
Nice.
regular queso.
And a fine choice, indeed.
Mine is the corn cob at Original Grain,
Ooh.
but with grains though, not the greens, with grains.
You know what my move? My move is the corn cob, but then I add Sam sauce to it, so it's like a buffalo chicken kind of like vibe.
Oh,
Wait, you switch it out? You switch the sauce, or you like both of them?
Double sauce.
I'll try it.
Double down.
I'm in.
Right.
Rob's never been
I'm
there.
trying
I
to
don't
figure
know
out
what's
the audio thing.
So we're gonna have to pull Robin. Rob, you been to Original Grain or no?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah.
So what was the question again? Because the audio was all jacked up.
What do you remember? What you had at Original Grain?
Favorite
Did you-
meal?
Oh yeah. So I've got two
OG.
go-tos. So either the Cocoa Puff Bowl
Ooh.
or the PB&J.
Ooh. Well,
I'm
smoothie
actually-
bowl.
Yeah, either one of those. Yep.
Rob likes a
Got
sweet.
sweet tooth.
Got sweet,
Sweet
tooth.
tooth. Yep.
All right.
Yeah,
Next question. We got what BS. What would you do on Mars for fun?
Well, I mean, what is there to do? Do we have options?
I would actually. So I'm gonna make up and pretend we're in like Elon Musk's world. I don't know if you got Elon Musk, right? Thinks our
Yep.
next life is going to be on Mars. So I would take like whatever is the equivalent of the ATV out there and just fucking rip through the craters in the sand.
That'd be fun.
Yep.
I'd play basketball.
Dude. How would you get the ball once you dribble it once? Jump after it.
It'd be constant slam dunk. Like you never stop slamming dunk. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I
every
would never
shot
stop
is a
dunking.
slam dunk.
Ever.
Yep.
What I do? Gosh, Rob, you go next.
I'd build a golf course
Oh,
Ooh,
same question. How would you get the ball?
You attach a string to it.
Yep.
Can you imagine? I would crush the shit out of that drive up there.
Yeah.
Gone.
If we
Everyone would.
Everyone.
Thanks. You had to ruin my vision, Chris.
it would be like that game with the paddle and the ball,
Paddle ball?
but like
Yeah, exactly. Except
golf
it just
swing over and over again.
take forever to come back.
I don't know.
What do you think, Al?
Am I the only person? Am I the only person there, or are there other?
You know what? If you didn't play
Don't
the
complicate it.
on Mars and everyone on the whole planet couldn't hear you in that moment, I don't even know what's going on.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Let's just go with there's other people there.
oh well, there's other people there. I would start. I would probably start some kind of a club. Like not like a club like chess club, but like a club. Like we'll party at my club.
You'd probably be the first millionaire, actually.
I would start an entertainment club.
aside from Elon Musk.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like that.
For
That's
sure.
good.
And then Chris would start the restaurants, and then boom, Mars
We
become.
could even be in business together. It could be entertainment club and
There you have it. There
next
you have
door.
it. Boom. Got the t-shirts.
Strip club, OG, all combined into one.
Until you fix your Q-tip issue, we need. Until
We'll
you
have-
write that wrong.
We'll have free moist Q-tips in a jar at the bar that you can.
That's right.
Damn. Bourbon and a moist
Bourbon.
Q-tip.
Bourbon and a moist
There you
Q-tip.
go.
Game over, Rob.
All right, here's
Bourbon.
one for you, Chris, because we've all answered this on previous shows. Craziest business idea.
Ooh.
Whatever's clever.
Business.
I'm just kidding.
What did you say? Whatever's
I
clever.
said whatever's clever.
I don't think it was for one of the craziest because I think that was probably the earliest, and that was I think in my infancy and in being in business, probably the craziest business idea ever. Because I think at that point in time and being so young and so not sort of savvy, I think in business, it was just a wild idea, right? It was so fucking crazy. Like, how could we ever do this, right? I'd probably say that was probably the craziest, which unfortunately never came to fruition. But
There's still time.
Well, right, but why didn't it and why couldn't it?
I don't know. Why didn't it? I feel like we just got like sidetracked. Like nothing even ever happened. It just went away.
You told me one time though why it didn't take off. Remember we were touring that building downtown, and you were like, "Oh yeah, Bily and I had this great business idea," and it was just
I don't even remember. It just.
It was just we were like into different stuff. I mean, you probably just after that had started Good Monster, right? And I had probably just after that got into doing restaurants.
Yeah, I don't remember a reason. I feel like it just fizzled out. Like it just went away.
Right.
But there is still time.
There is still
So
time.
we got another question. What is your favorite sport? Dan asks, what's your favorite sport? Who?
Probably at this point in time, basketball for me. Not only to watch, but to play. I grew up a cross player and grew up playing baseball and grew up playing really everything: basketball, soccer. Never played football, but probably all-time favorite sport to watch and to play: basketball.
Who's up next? Al?
I would probably say basketball, and baseball is a very, very close second for both to watch and to play.
Basketball first, then baseball?
Yeah.
What about you, Timmer?
Football. Yeah.
Go Rams.
To watch?
Go Rams. Oh, to watch? Yeah, football by a zillion miles.
Okay.
That's a quirk that actually a lot of people don't understand, including my wife, is I'm like a huge Los Angeles Rams fan. Used to be St. Louis Rams, but and nobody can explain why, because like my emotion and passion in the rest of my life is pretty subdued, except with the Rams. I can't even explain why.
Really?
What? Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Is it like linked to your?
Hold that close. Don't ever let anyone in. Hold it.
Yeah, you know what? I love you. I love you, Chris. Yes. You know what? I'm gonna hold that one in because there's not much I don't tell people. Anything.
Okay. All right.
But I honestly can't even tell you why. Honestly, like
There's no story
something-
behind that.
Oh, I've been a Rams fan since 1995. I went to the St. Louis Rams Stadium, and they had just moved to St. Louis, and
That was it. Love it.
yeah, there was a whole experience, and like from then on out, I just was a huge diehard Rams fan.
Good for you.
I'm
I
like
didn't-
one of 3 in New York State.
Do you guys have any loyalties to teams? Like I couldn't care less about any team. I just like to watch the game itself.
SU, but other than that, and the Rams.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Did I mention the Los Angeles Rams?
Yeah, right. New York State, I think.
New York
Only
State
because,
team?
again, just from growing up, my father was a Bills fan, right? So
Yeah.
Yankee fan, you're just kind of you kind of are kind of grown and kind of gravitate towards that just because you've been doing it so much of your childhood, right? But I wouldn't say no. I like sport in general. I like watching everything. Basketball. I don't have a favorite team. If I were to pick a team, like I tell everyone, much like football, I would pick, the Knicks or the Bulls because they're state teams, right? And I'm a proud, community member and a statesman. But I like watching the sport and the competition.
Fantastic.
What do you got, Rob?
All right. As on Mars, it's the same here on Earth. It would be golf. So I don't have a great story like John does about the Rams, but my dad taught us to play when we were young. My grandfather built a golf course halfway between Utica and the Adirondacks, and I went to college for turf grass management. And I told all 3 of our boys, I'm like, look, you can play any sport you want to in school, but you need to learn the sport of golf because beyond school, that will take you through any business career for the rest of your life.
Accurate.
So, and with that, the next question. My wife wants to know, what was your first celebrity crush? Chris.
Christ.
First.
I don't even know if I know any celebrity. I'm so out of tune with reality. I'm just focused on food and burritos and grain bowls and
Yeah.
Bowls. I
His
love
first
it.
celebrity crush was the taco.
The taco grain bowl.
oh shit. First celebrity crush.
The waitress at Tiny Tim's Taco Tower. Wasn't it?
Just because this is like back in the day when I was really little, and like Batman was really big, and I don't know. I'd probably have to say like Nicole Kidman
Oh wow.
or someone like that.
Okay.
Or like first celebrity crush, like
That
first
was
like
Going straight indecent proposal. Wasn't
That
that,
was like
Nicole
Val
Kidman?
Kilmer
No,
back
that was
pre-pubescent days. Yeah, I think that's a good answer.
It's fair.
Yeah.
Nothing
Yeah.
wrong with Nicole
What about
Kidman. Jennifer Aniston all day, every day.
Damn it. That was actually mine.
Well, you
too.
were going to take it. Well, Jennifer Aniston probably 10 years ago. Now I'm starting to fade. We're fading. Her and I are fizzling.
Oh,
and
we're still fully on. Actually,
you and her?
yeah, we're
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You can have her.
we're going steady.
Yeah, that's good. You can have her.
Lindsay's okay with it.
She's like a fine empathy wine, Al.
She is like a fine everything. But I think she's emotionally unavailable, to be honest with you. And
Emotionally unavailable.
I'm a little buzzed. Just a
Hey.
little.
Are we all?
Just a little. But
We
yeah,
should hold a
Rob, I actually want
side
to ask
note.
you, when are you going to take that sword out of whatever case it's in behind you? And
that's our next question, actually.
Wait. Next question.
on
Perfect.
camera right now.
Rob.
Perfect. Next question. Wait, Rob, we have to come back to your answer about the crush. But our next question is that an actual sword behind you? LOL. I love it.
It is an actual sword. So there's a story.
What are you going to
behind
do
this.
about it?
Go get it. Look at
All
this
right.
thing.
So
The chair.
This
Holds
is
it by
not-
the handle like a gangster.
not my sword. My wife, who is a financial advisor,
This is my wife's sword.
she won this because she kicked everybody else's ass in this contest.
Uh-huh.
And so where do you put this in your house?
Like that on the wall.
Above the bed.
above the bed. Yeah. No, I'm afraid she would pull it out and use it on me one night. I'm afraid of that.
Or anybody breaks into your house.
Next to your nightstand.
Yeah.
It's made in Spain.
So epic, bro.
It is freaking. It's got
in the year 200
How
AD.
do these guys hold these things?
No, that's got to be 50.
With all that weight back in the day. Oh yeah, yeah.
Although let's paint that picture. Intruder comes in. Rob comes down the stairs with that sword.
With the sword.
I mean, yeah, like what?
Even if I had a gun, I'd be like,
wow, yeah.
If I miss,
gun of the sword.
That thing's heavy.
Yeah, like don't bring a knife to a gunfight, but
bring a sword.
Really heavy? Yeah, heavy as fuck.
It's about 50 pounds.
Oh shit!
Good Lord.
Yeah,
dude, that's a fucking arm workout. Take that fucker and just
it's a Bill O'Brien workout right there.
What is that? That's a workout. That's like the mace thing. The mace. We'll just call this the sword workout.
Bill O'Brien.
Rob.
We got swords like the Charlie Seeley guy in Forever Leather. We got, you ever heard of him? His commercial on TV. We got swords. We got leather gloves. We got all sorts of stuff.
Is he going to be at our conference?
Coach Rob,
he might be on his last leg. I'm not sure. So Michelle had to rescue that sword. It was kidnapped during a prior relationship, and she's like, "Oh hell no!"
She got the sword.
The sword is coming this way.
Did you bring her own sword to go get the sword?
That's right.
Man,
terrible.
All right, this rapid fire. We should just call this the non-rapid fire.
Yeah, this isn't questions at all.
It's never rapid fire.
No.
Okay, let's rip through a couple other ones.
Katie Holmes.
Oh, there we go. That was rapid fire. Good.
Done.
Katie Holmes. Okay, next rapid fire question. If you were famous, what would you be famous for? Tony asked this.
Oh.
Who start? I forget. Chris, you're up.
Oh.
We'll reverse it. Actually, you know what?
Go ahead.
Rob, you go, and then I'll go.
What would I be famous for? I would be famous for pulling you two goobers together and convincing all of us that we should do NoBull 2020.
Well, clearly we're all going to be famous for that.
Wow, that was a nice tribute. I thought you were going to say the sword.
No, I can't take it. It's just here. It's just the decor in the room.
Too obvious.
Yeah,
fighting off my huge intruders. Fighting off intruders on the 9 o'clock news with a sword.
Yeah. No, he went the emotional route.
That's okay. Famous for cooking delicious recipes without following a recipe.
Oh,
like mustard waffles?
Chris, you and I got to get together. You got to taste some of my shenanigans.
You should come work with me. I do that all the time.
Yeah, just making shit up. I never, ever follow a recipe. Say that again.
I said, how do you think all these menus got started?
Great minds think alike.
I know that's.
Al,
I would like to be, and this dream is still alive, but dying each day. I would like to be famous for being a musician. Like I would love to be a famous musician, known as okay, he's the musician.
We're gonna do this again. Anybody in the comments below, leave a saxophone if you want to hear Al play the saxophone.
Yeah, we're trying to help you get famous, Al.
And outro every show.
5, and then he's firing it up. Al, don't be scared either.
More than 5 gets it, and I fire it up at the end.
Leave a saxophone emoji in the comments below. Leave as many as you possibly can. Chris, what do you got? You're gonna be famous.
I would probably say, for being a restaurateur, entrepreneur, and or actor. I always thought I could be really good in that biz.
Yes.
I don't have the face or the nose for it.
Dude.
Everyone needs
nothing to do with it. Nothing
feature.
To do
Yeah,
with it.
You got to be a good, person.
Well, would you ever consider acting? Like, is that because it's very viable that you could still potentially go into that? You realize that, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think about it all the time.
You can go into that when you're 70. It doesn't matter.
There's a lot of people that have gone into that one.
I was just gonna say there are some that have.
That would be. I hope that the two of us end up somehow in entertainment, really, as famous entertainers.
Yes.
And the other thing's passive income.
Ooh, Al, I will say there have been lots of sax.
There's lots of saxophones coming in right now.
Are you
Lots.
kidding me?
A lot of
saxophones.
saxophones.
First of all, John, your wife doesn't count. My friend Jen doesn't count. Nick counts. Colin counts. Shit.
There's a
Yeah.
lot more than just Lindsay.
Yeah, they're still coming in.
This is a terrible thing.
Everyone
Can you
keep
you just-
posting saxophone
Like
emojis.
a second little like riff, just something, just a little fucking teaser.
A little teaser.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little fucking cutesy, a little teaser.
Little cutesy thing. What song?
You're like, no.
I pissed Lindsay off.
No,
I can't. Okay. Yeah. All right, couple more rapid.
Not even prepared.
Couple more
You
rapid fire
offended Lindsay.
questions.
Yeah, a couple more
couple-
rapid fire questions.
Couple more rapid fire questions while Al gets the saxophone ready.
What do we got?
Okay. John asks, "What's the best advice you've ever got related to your business?" Who wants to start this time? I'll start. You guys think about it. Best advice that I've ever got was, oh man, I don't even know who gave this to me, which is sad because I want to give them a shout out. But Chris, this is actually what question you answered, which was to let your team like do their work. And don't micromanage them, even if they're not as good as you think at what you could do. Let them go because you're able to scale your business quicker with 80% of the quality of work or 70% of the quality of work than if you tried to do everything yourself at 100% of the quality.
Mhm.
So let your team do their job. I don't know who.
Well, I guess I can answer it just because it's coming to mind right now. I would say that I was with Mark Bullis one day, and this is when I was working for him before I started Modern Mall. And Mark Bullis is the owner of Bull and Bear Roadhouse. He started lots of restaurants, but one day he came up to me and told me, he's like, "Dude, you just gotta sit the fuck down and listen." And he didn't mean that in a way that I wasn't listening to him, right? Or listening to his command. He just said, you just got to sit the fuck down and listen to like everything. Like all these people around you that are telling you what they need, but you're not responding. Me telling you what to do, but you're not responding. All these other things and influences coming at you, but you're not responding. You're so one-dimensional right now, following one path. You're not opening yourself up to really kind of take on multiple flows of traffic per se, right? So that was probably one of the biggest, I think, words of advice I'd ever gotten was like, just shut the fuck up and listen, because there's so many things that are happening around you and so many people talking. It's not just you. It's not about you. It's about the bigger picture. Yeah.
That's great advice.
That's awesome.
Al, you got one?
Best business advice? Just keep going. Like just keep going, right? Feel the feelings and just keep going.
Was that from Finding Nemo?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I had very few mentors growing up.
Nemo was one of them.
And when I saw that movie, I was like, oh, yes.
That makes sense. I will actually say a lot of those animated movies are like, they have good lessons snuck in there.
They do. And for an only child, let me tell you, it's all you got.
You're about to find out, John.
Yeah. Tell me about it next.
Just don't start with Barney, all right? Anything but Barney.
Barney even still around? Is that like...
No.
I don't know. Just don't go there.
Okay. Deal.
Barney's old news, pal.
Rob, what do you got?
Stay humble.
Not to interrupt, Rob. Al, you got kind of a Barney like vibe going on behind you.
I do have a Barney vibe going on.
Just want to throw that out there.
I just want the dinosaur to pop out in the doorway behind you.
There's some kind of green figure going to be crawling through the.
So once I get better at the live streaming, I'll have some, CGI effects come through. But yeah, I get a lot of flack for this. But it is what it is. It's on brand. It's on brand with NoBull. It is.
I do love it. And Barney, but I digress.
You should see it outside his house at night.
Just keep going. Yeah. I know. My neighbors think I run like a porn
Like that,
video.
they're like,
Yeah. Oh yeah. The neighbors. Oh gosh, what they think.
Oh no, Jennifer Tyner said Barney is still out there. Trust me. Oh no, don't do it,
Oh
John.
boy,
You'll be singing
I
those
won't.
songs in your head all day long.
I won't.
Jen Tyner.
Won't.
All
mine
right.
was-
We got some
mine
more
was stay
questions?
humble.
So, Rob, did you have a quick answer for that?
Yeah, just stay humble. Remember where you came from as you're, coming up through your successes.
Nice. All right, we're gonna pick 2 more quick rapid fire questions. Then we'll sign off. And we're gonna sign up for. Yeah.
the NoBull business event happening in September. What is it?
17th.
September 17th.
2020.
Boom.
Sign the fuck up right now.
Sign the fuck up.
Buy a ticket.
Buy a
Nice.
ticket or buy a
You're-
bunch of cases of empathy, and you'll get a free ticket. Whatever.
Hell yeah.
Whatever.
Guys, these guys,
Mr. Yeah, Chris is meeting Gary Vaynerchuk. That's
Sure
right. I
is.
forgot.
He'll be
Can't
hanging
believe it.
out.
Yeah. Money. Okay. So Colleen asks, biggest mistake or lesson learned in business, if you haven't had it yet. Al, what do you got? Biggest mistake or lesson or both?
I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, tell us.
Get
Go.
your attorney involved from day one and sign contracts day one.
Good one.
Legal representation.
Right on.
do we want to hear the backstory to all this?
Nope. No, you don't.
I love your face. Nope.
Mm-mm.
Chris, what do you got? Biggest lesson.
Man, I'd probably have to bounce off of the thing I just said, right? Just to really be an active listener and just to kind of open your mind up to everything. I'd say that's probably the biggest lesson I've learned in reference to business. Biggest mistake is, I don't know. I think at the end of the day, that's a tough question because I think as a businessman and an entrepreneur, there's mistakes that are made on a daily. And some are big and some are little, and I think at the end of the day they add up to I think the overall in the grand scheme of what the end result should be. So I think from my experience there's been some bigger ones, there's been some little ones. I think it's just learning from that and really sort of adapting.
Nice. Rob?
Your accountant or CPA is a great historian. They do not have a crystal ball. Do not look to them for that.
Ooh, good one.
Oh,
Biggest lesson I've learned is to just start, because in whatever it is, and of course there's exceptions to this rule, but generally your audience, your customers, your team, your whoever, the market will tell you whether it's right or wrong. And so like to be stuck in your own mind as a business owner or to bounce back and forth between business leaders will sort of not matter because you're only 2 people or you're only 1 person. So that's the biggest lesson, is to just start. The biggest mistake is to not understand finances, probably. Like early on in my career, that's funny because like my biggest lesson and my biggest mistake are like sort of like just start, but then know your finances. Like they're sort of opposite ends, but it's very important, right? So early on in my career, like I didn't understand finances. Like I understood like, okay, make money. But then there's payroll. Anybody who's in business knows payroll is the bane of, all existence. So payroll, then there's taxes, and then there's expenses. So for me personally, like I would look at income versus expenses, but I'd look at expenses like software I had to pay for, like things like that. And I didn't do a good job at taking into account taxes and then like what growing payroll would look like. I learned a hard lesson there and, came out better for it. But that was the biggest lesson for sure. All right,
All right,
Rob.
last question.
Final question.
Are you a dog or a cat person?
Al.
From Beatrice.
Don't,
That's
John. Okay. Don't, it was a low blow. I'm neither. I had a cat for a week and a half. It's gone now, and that's that.
safely gone. Safely gone, Peter.
Yeah, describe
gone,
gone
yeah.
safely.
Yeah, I
No
didn't.
animals were harmed in the filming of the show.
I didn't do anything bad. I gave it to a beautiful family, but I am not a cat person. That's for darn sure. And a dog, you know, if I had like a girlfriend or a wife who was like, I want to get a dog, I would be like, okay, let's get a dog. But if it's just me, no dogs, no pets. I'm good.
Chris?
Honestly, I'd say both. I'm an animal lover at the end of the day. I grew up with cats and dogs. My parents had dogs and cats. Now, you know, my mom's got a lot of cats. My brother's got a dog. My grandparents had lots of dogs. Both. I personally don't have either right now. But yeah, I love them. I love them both.
Wish I would have known. I would have given you the cat.
I will say this. I'm looking at these messages right now. Al, I feel like there's a little band kind of in the making.
There's
happening.
a band in the making, and I don't know what's happening. Who are these? Do you play the guitar, Chris? What's happening?
I do.
What? Where is it?
Daniel,
Get the guitar. Let's do it. And there's going to be some latency. I didn't know you played the guitar.
I do.
You guys should make our intro.
All
Like
these years,
record
like,
the intro for this show.
we'll
it's
do
like
it.
the SNL band. Like you guys could all get together virtually and come on and open the show.
I know, right?
Rob will wet his sword and then like rub his finger down it so it makes like the wine glass like woo. He'll be that instrument. He'll be the sword.
Yeah, Michael Larkin. Do we know the Danielle Larkin? I assume they're related or married.
My graphic designer.
Okay.
One of two graphic designers that works on all the brands. And that is her husband, Michael Seamus Larkin, who is very proficient in the musical arts.
Oh, wow.
Knows a lot of.
He's come up.
There it is.
Danielle plays the bass. They got a little band thing happening. You know, I think they're looking for a sexy sax.
Oh boy, are we gonna put something together? We could do a little XO
band.
By the way, we had a great time. What did we do for Galentine's Day? That was a good thing.
Yes,
I enjoyed that. It was really.
You know what I need?
Great time. It was what the keys plus the and you're the vocalist, right?
Yeah, we had keyboard, vocalist, and a saxophone, and it was just the right little mix of. We kind of did some lo-fi, you know, jazzy. Yeah. You know, it was good. It was people liked it.
Yeah. You know what I need?
What's that?
I need a little more cowbell.
I need more cowbell. I got a fever.
Let me ask you, do you have any more questions?
What'd you say?
Do we have any more questions?
I don't think so.
Rob's either a dog or cat person.
If we were home long enough, it would be a dog, but we're not home enough. So
here's what I think we should do. Al, I think we should just play a little outro for everyone.
Okay, both of us, the two of us, or
I'm gonna grab the guitar. Okay. You're gonna grab the sax.
Okay, you play something. I'll figure out what I'm gonna play.
You like riffing. I'm more of a rhythm guy.
Okay, what do you know? What do you know, bro? What do you know?
I love this.
We're gonna play an original tune that I wrote from Chicago, if I can remember, Brett.
Yes, you will. And Rob's gonna play the sword bass.
Ooh. So this is kind of like a little bluesy jam. Let me kind of get through it really quick.
Yeah, you get a feel going.
Now it's on the bottom again.
Work well with the wine
bottle. Like a little bluesy joint that I kind of like riff when I used to play in Chicago. Is that the sword that you're playing?
Okay. What'd you say?
Is Rob playing the? Oh, you're playing the sword. Good.
Rob
all right. Rob, play the sword. Timmerman, you can probably do percussion.
John,
and then related to the players, I think we can just kind of end this on a little Partridge Family.
Okay. Yeah, John, the tugboat thing's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna play into this.
Oh, I got.
You got to go with percussion, man.
Al, can you hear
that? I can hear it.
Here we go.
Hold on a second. I lost my bearings. Let me get this right.
Are we playing a G?
It is a G.
Oh, there's the solo.
I can barely hear you now.
Nailed it.
We got it.
Hey.
If I had some lyrics, I could remember them. I would have sang
What's
them
the
too.
name of that tune?
There was a song that I called Pusher Man. It was about drugs.
Oh, okay.
So it was like, I'm gonna feel sweet. What was it? Sweet pusher man, girl. I'm gonna call you in. See, he's got. But
Guys crushed it.
It that time where I moved to Chicago and I was smoking a lot of weed and doing a lot of other really random shit. And
there you have it, Pusher Man.
Wrote a song about the Pusher Man.
We're doing it live. Next time we're gonna play a gig together.
This was like the world release right here, right?
This was it. This was the first time anyone's been heard.
Awesome.
There you go,
Chris,
folks.
man, you are the man.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
dude, this has been amazing.
Much love.
This has been amazing. Fellas, now's the time. Now's the time when we sign off. As always, super appreciative of those who tune in and engage with us on Facebook Live as we grow this show. We have a lot of engaged followers that are a core group of homies and homettes. So thank you so much. It means so much. We love you all. If you do not already, make sure you follow us on Facebook. That's where we go live. We're shelling out some cool stuff over on Instagram. Our speakers for NoBull 2020, some cool shit that they're doing. Chris Bily is one of our panelists, so you can see him this September as well. So make sure you follow, subscribe, all that good jazz. And we will be back Thursday.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's very clever, John. Very clever.
Yeah. Hey, I snuck it in there. I snuck it in there. So we're going to be back this Thursday right here live with a
little REM song. Just keep
it out, Chris. Play
it out. We'll be live here Thursday with Steve Hale, great entrepreneur and all-around cool cat. So tune back Thursday, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time here on Facebook. Until then, Chris and Al are going to play us out. Peace, everyone. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Oh, I'm empty. Shit.
I am too. Here's the bottle.
Oh, he's back.
Hey, just
Encore.
I'm kidding.
Dude,
That was the pre-show. Now the show starts.
I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot what happens is it's only like a 5-second promo and then it comes back to us. So my bad as the producer. All right, now it's really over.
Oh, hey, see ya.
Thanks, guys. Later.
See you, Chris.